Canada's contribution to science fiction is out of this world. Expand your knowledge in a quiz that reveals and celebrates the awesome Canadians that have dominated sci-fi for decades. You'll be surprised and entertained. So let's jump into it. Question number 1. What Vancouver soldier became a war amputee in real life after being shot in World War II, and later played an iconic science fiction character in TV and films? James Dune, Scotty from Star Trek. He was shot several times by his own troops during the Normandy invasion, leading to the amputation of his middle finger. Live long and prosper. So if a Canadian can play a Scottish science fiction character, what Canadian science fiction character was played in movies by an Australian actor? Logan, also known as Wolverine, and technically James Howlett also scores the point. Played, of course, by Hugh Jackman from Sydney, Australia.
Your country needs you. I'm Canadian. I know you, Logan!
Number 3. What wrestler born in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, starred in a 1988 film in which his character uses special sunglasses to detect aliens in disguise? Rowdy Roddy Piper from John Carpenter's They Live, one of the most meme-worthy movies of all time.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Questions 4 and 5. What TV show set mostly in Toronto starred an actress from Regina who plays many different parts in a story that involves an international cloning conspiracy? What's the show and what's the actress's name? Orphan Black, starring Tatiana Maslany.
Hey, I'm Cosima. Bloody hell. We talked on the phone. How many of us are there?
Great actress. And question 6, what marvelous role did she play in 2022? She-Hulk, attorney at law. Let's go back to Orphan Black. Matt Frewer from Peterborough, Ontario, played Dr. Aldous Leakey in Orphan Black. He was also big in Sci-Factor, Chronicles of the Paranormal, filmed in Toronto. But in what iconic sci-fi role from the 80s did Frewer star playing a computer-generated character?
This is Max Headroom.
Now we use AI to play actors. In 1985, we used an actor to play an AI. There was a Max Headroom movie, TV show, and even a Coke commercial. What actress born in Maple Ridge, British Columbia, played Maureen Robinson, the mom from Lost in Space, from 2018 to 2021? Molly Parker, famous for all kinds of different shows. Here's Uncle Buck. But in what movie can John Candy be seen flying a spacecraft, jamming the radar of an enemy ship, and carrying a robot across a desert planet? Bonus? What was the character's name? Spaceballs.
Barf!
Not in here, mister. This is a Mercedes.
Nah, that's my name. Barf!
What other Toronto actor had a lead role in Spaceballs? And bonus? What was his character's name? Rick Moranis in the role of Dark Helmet.
I can't breathe in this thing!
Next up, in what science fiction trilogy did Rick Moranis star? Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, with sequels Honey, I Blew Up the Kid, and Honey, We Blew Up Ourselves.
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
What truck driver from Kapuskasing, Ontario, quit his job to enter the film industry? His first film was the short Xenogenesis in 1978. 2 bonus points if you could answer before I give you a big clue.
Fuck the bonus.
Okay, who wrote and directed Terminator, Terminator 2, The Abyss, and Aliens? James Cameron. He's come a long way from Kapuskasing. Oh, and he also did Avatar. What Hollywood mogul from Toronto produced and directed the original 1975 version of Rollerball, roughly halfway through his 53-year career. Norman Jewison. He was such a legend that after he died, they put his picture on the postage stamp. What father of two from London, Ontario, and former musketeer, starred in Blade Runner 2049, playing Officer K. Ryan Gosling. Now, who was the director of Blade Runner 2049? He was from Trois-Rivières, Quebec, and also directed sci-fi gems like Arrival, Dune, and Dune Part 2. Denis Villeneuve. Oh, then there's another Quebecer who did TV commercials for Loblaws grocery stores before starring in a successful series of sci-fi movies. After Sci-Fi, he was the star of a TV show, Shit My Dad Says. Who is he? William Shatner. Yeah, it'd be too easy if I just asked who played Kirk. But now that we're back on track, who's the most famous Canadian to play a Klingon? Christopher Plummer from Toronto, Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country. A Klingon who quotes Shakespeare.
Tickle us, do we not laugh? Prick us, do we not bleed? Wrong us, shall we not revenge?
Very fitting, because the first Klingon ever to appear on screen was also a Shakespearean actor from Toronto. Name him. John Colicos. He played Commander Kor in 1967 and came back for 3 episodes of Deep Space Nine about 30 years later. A cult classic that still inspires gifs of heads exploding. Shot in Montreal in 79, released in 81. What are the names of the movie? This Toronto actor, still making movies after 45 years, and the Toronto director known for sci-fi horror gross-outs. The movie is Scanners. Michael Ironside has had a brilliant career playing a-holes, and the director was David Cronenberg. What show that filmed 100 episodes in and around Vancouver started with the premise that juvenile delinquents from outer space needed to return to Earth to save the human race. Well, until they met the native Earthlings. The 100. Marie Avgeropoulos from Thunder Bay played Octavia Blake in 95 episodes, matched only by Australia's Eliza Taylor, who played Clark. What actor was born in St. John, New Brunswick, went to high school in Nova Scotia, and later starred in the 1978 remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers? And the answer is Donald Sutherland.
There's a particular savvy in that, isn't there?
He was also the president in Hunger Games movies and was a big fan of the Montreal Expos back in the day. What American TV show featured lots of space battles, with both opposing fleets commanded by Canadian actors? Score 1 point for the show, and a bonus point for each of those actors.
Battlestar Galactica.
Ottawa-born Lorne Greene played Commander Adama in the 1978 version. John Colicos from Toronto played Baltar. The robots put Baltar in charge because they needed a leader who could think like a human.
Burn Galactica.
The reimagined Battlestar Galactica from the 2000s has Canadians too. Which Canadian played in the most episodes? Tricia Helfer. She grew up on a farm in Alberta before becoming a supermodel. She played various Cylon clones, named Caprica 6, or just 6, and one was Regina. Also, score the point if you said Grace Park, who played Cylon clones Boomer and Athena. 2 of the 3 sources I checked said Park was tied with Helfer with 73 or 74 episodes, while the third had Park in third, following Kirkland Lake's Michael Hogan. At first, I only recognized 3 of the cast members as Canadian: Helfer, Winnipegger Donnelly Rhodes, and Montrealer Barclay Hope. Rhodes played the chain-smoking doctor in 36 episodes. Hope had been on Sci-Factor, Stargate SG-1, and Resident Alien, but had only a tiny role on BSG. Turns out the show was made in Vancouver, and silly me, most of the cast was Canadian. Next question. Lucy Lawless played Cylon number 3 in Battlestar Galactica. Now, she's from New Zealand, but before starring as Xena Warrior Princess, she took acting lessons from a Canadian actor who is now best known for having played a mysterious character in a long-running Vancouver-made show that often dealt with alien visitation cover-ups and conspiracies. More than 40 appearances. What's the name of the Canadian actor, and what was the show? William B. Davis, the cigarette-smoking man from The X-Files. This was BC, so I'm not sure he was smoking tobacco. Now, if you're interested in scary science fiction, take my other weather quizzes. Learn what's really science and what's fiction to scare you to get you to pay more taxes.
Goodbye. Well, that's it. Thank you.